Hello, 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 what's happening? Hello, 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 hello. Okay, I think we are live. All right, welcome guys. I think we're just going to go live into it. We're just going to start. We are going to start, so just sit tight. I hope your fellow trainers get in fast so that we can start this thing in earnest. So while we are waiting for them to join us properly, just stay tuned. If you know where they are, you can reach out to them. right, welcome everyone. So we are starting right now. Other persons can join us later, so we are going to start. We don't have all the time, so we are going to run. So we are looking at web development. This is a complete web development masterclass. So we are going to look at the full package from writing script to the latest. Now you're going to see what the latest is. I wanted to hang on because there is a secret I'm going to share before this video expire about how you can actually develop a full website in a few minutes that you don't want to miss. So stay tuned. So let's look at our course outline. We are going to be looking at introduction to web design, and we'll move from there to history of web design. Then we'll look at terminology and register.
I'm not seeing a change of screen.
So we'll look at terminology and register. Then we'll look at basic HTML code. Then we'll look at a basic CSS script. Then we'll look at what you see is what you get. Then we'll look at how you can actually create your first page and your first blog. Then if time permits, we'll look at content management system. We'll introduce you to WordPress. Now, how websites work. Now, websites live on servers. That's where they live. Your browser requests a page, the server processes it, and send it back. That is exactly how it works, right? Now, think of it like ordering food at a restaurant. You ask, the kitchen prepare, and the waiter delivers. So that is just it. So there is a language that is stored on the server that is being interpreted by the browser. So these are the languages we're going to be looking at, because you cannot just send write-up and expect the write-up to become a website. It's just like you building a house, right? If you want to build a house, you have to get blocks, you have to get cement, you have to get sand, you have to get wood and what have you. So there are many things you are going to put together to actually create a house. So house is not just a door, right? So house has a lot you're going to put together. So when you're looking at the website, I always want my student to look at website as a house, right? Building a house. So if you want to build a house, you need a land, you need a road to that house, which is going to be the address, and you will now build on it. So we having a website, we will need a host, which is like the land, and you are renting that land, which is what we call web hosting, right? Or you are buying the land, or you are subscribing for the land, right? 1 year, 10 years, 5 years, how many years you want to host, you want them to host your website, what you are going to build. So it's like having a land. Then there is a what we call web address, is the address to the house. Then the website itself is the house that you have built. So just like a house, we have different kind of website. We have website for business, we have website for church, we have website for markets, what we call a e-commerce website. We have website for real estate, for school, for businesses, for houses, for anything, even for profile, like a CV. So we have different kind of sites. So look at website as a house, a kind of a house. Now, there are 3 pillars of web development. Every website runs on 3 key ingredients. The HTML for structure, the CSS for style, and JavaScript for interactivity, right? So if you need activity, if you want interaction, if you want to create something that will produce something, you need JavaScript. If you need style, you need CSS. If you need structure, you need HTML. Now, this is how every website is. The design. Then if you must design a good website, it must be simple, it must be professional, it must have branding. That's an element of whoever you are designing. All right, so let's look at history of web design. In the beginning, we had what we call the straight up hypertext markup language. Then it was good, and it was plain, absolute, but good, unformatted but good. Now this was the kind of stuff that we used to have, right? How was this built? This was built on a script like this. So this write-up you are seeing, this write-up actually creates this page. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. It was good. So this was the write-up that did that. Now we progressed and we started having file transfer protocol where we can transfer real life files to the website, right? We started having different kind of coding, and we started having text editor that will help us to code on the website. Then plus, the browsers came to begin to interpret our website for us. So if you remember the old Netscape, the old Internet Explorer and the likes, right? Later, it got better, right? Now we now get to have features like table, frame, image, maps, and CGI scripting, right? Now, even later, it became better. We started having what you see is what you get, what we call WYSIWYG. We now started having front-end packages where Java came, Flash came, all that came. So our GUI now came, what we call the graphical user interface. Website were now becoming beautiful. But much later, PHP came, and developing website became much easier when PHP showed up. Everyday people who doesn't understand code, now we're now having access to design website. Now, this is where we are now. Grok came. Grok happens, right? You're going to see what Grok can do by the time we get there. Grok happened. Now we can just talk to an AI, and AI will develop a full website for all of us. All right? Develop a full website that we can actually post somewhere, and boom, a website is born. However, before you can use AI like Grok to actually write a website, you will need to understand the framework of every website. That is where you'll be able to use AI like Grok to build your own website. Now, let's look at terminology and register. We have a few basic terminology that are very common. There are many of them. I'm going to drop a dictionary for you so that you'll be able to understand a register. We call it a ICT dictionary. All those register and terminology are there. So you can see what HTML means, the XML means, the HTTP means, FTP, URL, CSS, all of them, right? Now we still have more. JavaScript, what's JavaScript? Cache, what's cache? Responsive design, what is that? Backend, backlinks, favicon, metadata, permalinks, and plugins. So these are just examples of some of the registers. We have more, but these are the most common registers people use. Now, if you said you're a web developer and somebody said to you, I need a responsive design, what is the person saying? The person is actually saying, I need a design that is adaptable to different user devices. For example, a website that can adapt to a phone, and the same website will also sit properly with a laptop or with a desktop or with a tab. That is a responsive design. It responds different devices, right? So when we talk about cache, we're talking about files that are saved and downloadable by a web browser for easy and speedy access next time. So each time a web browser sees a website for the first time, there are some files that it is going to save, so that it won't need to look for that file again when it's going back to that website. Those things are called cache. And Google Chrome and all other web browsers normally store them, right? They normally store them. So these are common ones. So let's move on. So we have other things that are on the site, on every website. We have pages. Pages are like a single HTML or single HTML file, right? Then we have a complete site is a combination of multiple pages. That's what we call site. So when we talk about pages, we're talking about one page of the website. When we say a site, we're talking about multiple pages. So let's look at what is URL, right? What is in the name? A URL is actually a uniform resource locator. It is actually what make part of your site. So we have the protocol for reading. Protocol will help you decide whether it is secured, it is on a secure socket or not, or whether it is in a socket where they can be found. Then we have what we call the server name. No, the server name is what is your major server name. By the time we get into file on our control panel, you will understand what we mean by this. Then we have file name and path. Those are what we call the subdomains and all that. Now, the basics of web design. Now, every web design should have graphic design, should have navigation links, should have text on the web, should have image and photos, should be user friendly, right? Should be editable and easily maintained, should be something that could be updated or update itself, and it should have SEO. You understand what that means later. Now, basics of a website. This is what we just said. Now we're just explaining it in a beautiful graphical form. So what we're actually looking at right now, or what we are going to be, what you are already being trained on, is what we call the US and the UI. So when they say whether you are a full web designer, what they call full stack, they're talking about someone who can work with the front end and the back end, someone who can work with the UI and the UX. All right. Now, basic file on the web, basic files. Now we have HTML files, and these are documents plus code. Those are HTML files. We have browser interpret. Our browser will interpret every single code and turn it into a beautiful interface. That's what browsers does. So code contains in them tags, and you can see what example of tag that we have here, H1, and not just H1. You can see greater than and less than, right? Then you can now see greater than, / and less than at the end. Now, these are what form the HTML. They are codes that actually runs to show us the images, the sound, the video, and to separate them into viewable parts. All right. Now, these basic files, you can have them as images. You can have them as movies, as sound, as style sheet, as data, as text document, and other kind of files. All right. So when we talk about image, there are different kind of image you can have on your website. You can have a GIF, a JPG, what we call JPEG. We have PNG. Like a friend of mine would say that the most useless form of a picture is actually a GPG, right? What we call JPEG. He said it's useless. The reason why I'm saying that is because each time you save a file on JPEG, it drops quality. So for web design, it is better you save file on either Aviv, which is not here, or you save it in PNG, because these two will keep the quality of the image but make it a little bit smaller. Aviv make it smaller than a PNG. So these are files, basic file type on the web. Then more about files. Everything on your website must be in a publicly accessible folder, and that folder is usually called public_HTML. So anything that is not inside this folder called public_HTML, it will not show to the public. It's on your site for storage. Now, you might not understand that, but by the time we begin, we are talking about, right? So because there's a big folder in every website called public_HTML. So if you are building your website inside what they call an editor, right? A text editor like a VS Code, or you are building it on a local server that you can host on your system, the place you will take that entire website to, for that website to show to the world and become live, is called public_HTML. Now, basic HTML code. What is HTML? You already know. HTML is is hypertext markup language. Now, it consists of several tags which tell the web browser what to display. HTML is a simple language browser what to display. HTML is a simple language which can be easily written in a text editor such as Notepad. So we're going to start with the basic text editor, which is Notepad. That's where we're going to write our first code. Then I will show you other places later where you can actually write the language, what we call the HTML language, the hypertext markup language. But the first place we are doing it tonight is on the Notepad. All right, that is the first place we are doing it tonight. So we're going to be doing it on the Notepad. So this is an example of a code, an HTML code. I want you to notice a few things about this code. It's starting with HTML. It is written on Notepad, right? Start with HTML. You can see greater than HTML less than. You can see greater than head less than, greater than title less than. I want you to note something here. When you open HTML right here, HTML closes right here. The difference between this HTML and this HTML is /. You can see greater than HTML less than, greater than / HTML less than. Now, the same thing happened to head. Head is here open, head is closed. Title is open, title is closed. Body is open, body is closed. H1 is open, H1 is closed. What indicates the closure is the /. Now, let's move on. Now, the HTML tag. Now, this is the tag that tells the browser that the HTML code is beginning. This tag goes at the start of every web page you make, and it simply follows suit as the ending. So it's just everything we said just now. This is what opened the HTML code that tells the browser that, okay, the script I'm about to write is actually an HTML language. So, and this will tell the browser, the here is where I close. Now, we have the head. It said the head tag is used to hold information about the site. The information between head and head without will store info such as keyword for search engine and the title bar message. Now, you know what title bar is. I'm going to show you title bar by the time we're doing. Title bar is what is at the top of your web browser. So that is where head is going to show. And whatever is there, that is what the search engine is going to use to search. So when we are talking about SEO, you will take note of head, right? Now, the body. It said this tag is where all the important content is held, such as the text or your page, etc. Right? This tag is important to remember because without it, the page will not display properly. So you should not forget the body tag. The body tag is where everything is. All right? Then you will now create a web page based on the skills you have just learned. A key point to remember is layers are useful for ordering. Now, this is the task we're going to do right now, you and I. This is the task we're going to do. You just learned that you can write a simple code on Notepad. So I'm going to show you the code you are going to write that will form this, right? I'm going to show you the code you are going to write that's going to form this. Before then, when we're talking about head just now, you can see where website is, right? That is the head. No, I'm not talking about this big website on orange and or whatever color that is. I'm talking about this one. You can see my website here. I think we'll change it in our code so that it will not be the same thing. We're going to change that. So this is what we want to make sure that we replicate in our tags right now. So this is what I'm going to advise you to do because this is what the code we are going to write. So you go to your system and open your Notepad. Go to your system and open your Notepad because we are going to write this. This script is what gave us this result. This script gave us this result. This script gave us this result. So open Notepad on your system and you follow me. And this is what you are going to do when you rewatch this video again and again so that you will understand what is here. this is what I say we are going to change. You can see this, my website is on title, right? You can see the title is under head. It's under head. So I'm going to remove it. So whether title is here or not, so long there is head here, this is going to show. All right. So we can actually bring the title somewhere else. So this is H1 that we want to affect. We're going to use CSS to affect, because if you go up here, you can see the only thing that has style, which is color and center align and background, is this very my website. So I'm going to come back here. So this is the script we are going to write right now. So go to your website, your system, and get your notepad. So I'm going to bring out something for us to write our notepad. Let me see if I can show you my entire system, right? My entire system. Okay, so if you can go to your start button, then you can check your menu and scroll down under, I think it is accessories. Yes, window accessories. That is where your notepad is. You can see your notepad right here, right? This is your notepad. Me, I already tagged my notepad on my start. Really pick my notepad. All right, so I'm going to click on my notepad so that I can write my script. That script that is right there, I already have it. So I'm just going to copy it and I'll bring it here. All right, so I've written it here already. So here, is the full script right here. So I can let this cover my entire screen. You can see this is the full and you can see it started with HTML and ended with HTML. So I want to give this one space. Let me show you how it works. Let's give it space so that you can understand it properly. Let's give them space. The space is not going to affect what is going the result is going to get, or it's not going to affect it. So we have this like this. So you can see HTML, you can see the link. This is what we call the CSS link. You can see the head we're talking about. Then here is the title of our site that we want to affect. Then you have divisions and you have page. What you should notice here is that whatever open closes. Don't forget that. What you open and you did not close will not show. Will not show properly. So, and if you are going to save this, you must save it with .html. So I will want us to save this with your own name. And make sure for your CSS and your HTML to talk together, to speak to each other, they must be on the same folder. All right. So I'm going to save this and I'll make it save as. So I want to save it on my desktop. I think I should save it on my, no, let's just create a folder for it. I want to create a folder for it. Let me create a folder. I will call that folder, web design. You can create any folder for yourself. All right, so this is the folder I'm going to store what I have. Okay, so I'm going to call it my name. My name is Austin. So Austin, all is small letter. It doesn't matter if you use small letter or big letter, but what you should realize is that there must not be space if you are using two words. Website address are always together. So we are storing this one as HTML. So we're going to save it as HTML and we'll click on save. Now we have already saved this. So if we go and look for that folder, if we're going to look for that folder, that's why I wanted us to create a folder so that we can go look for the folder, which is web design. You can see the only thing in there that we save is having an icon. It's actually having a web development icon. You can see that, right? It's having a web development icon. So it means we have already designed our web. That's what it means. We have already designed our web. We've already done your web page already. So I'm going to go back to the folder, and I will double click for it to open. Just let's wait for it to open. Now it has opened at the background. This is it. You can see my website. This is my website. My name is Austin Imoru. Now it is beautiful, but it is not exactly what we are trying to achieve. This is what we are trying to achieve, but what we have is not colorful, and I'm going to tell you why what you have is not colorful. Now, the reason why what you have is not colorful is very, very simple. This is what you have. It's not colorful. And this is why it is not colorful. What we have is just the HTML that we will save as a Austin.html. We have not done the CSS yet. Don't forget, we said the CSS is a style. It gives style to the entire website. So what we have right here, what gave it the style, this color you are saying, is the CSS. So until we apply the CSS, we are not going to have this beautiful interface or this style. Now, you remember I told you we're going to change something, right? I told you we're going to change this website and this one, so that both of them will not be the same name, right? So we're going to do that right now, and we also write our CS script. So this is our website. This is what we have done so far, and we just need to change our write our CS script. So you can see here is my website, and if you check here on this browser, you can also see my website. So I want us to change this my website to maybe my, right? Okay, or my page. Yeah, my page will be good. So my website is here. It's cool. So let's go and write our CSS scripting. So I already have my CSS scripting right here. Now, I can see some of you commenting that you need a place to write your script. I just told you it is Notepad. Find Notepad on your system. I actually show you my entire screen so that you can know where to find Notepad on your system. Right? So, find Notepad on your system. Notepad is on your system. You go to your Start button. It's on your system. I believe those asking me where to write it because you are on phone. Right? If you are going to do it on phone, you will wait until we enter a website to try something like this on phone. But on your system, go to your Start button, scroll down to where you will have Window Accessories. Then you will see Notepad there. Me, I already have my Notepad on my taskbar. All right? Now, if you don't have a system and you are looking for where to write something, you can go to Play Store to go and look for Notepad. You can even look for Notepad++. That will help you to indicate what your scripts are. All right, so this is where we are. We are looking at this. So I said we're going to rewrite this script, but first we want to do our CSS. So this is the script we have written for our task. What we need to write the styling sheet so that this link that we have will now be effective. All right, now you have just done something very wonderful. If you have done this, you have done your first web page. Congratulations, guys. You've done your first web page. Congratulations. Now let's run. Now the link that we have on our HTML script. So let's see the CSS code. Now this is the CSS code we're about to write now. So don't forget that where we want to affect is the H1. So that's why we have H1 here, right? And we have the color, orange. We have text align, center. We have background color, yellow. We have padding, 10 px. Like I told you guys, this thing is easy. So when you are saving, also you're going to save it on CSS as CSS. And because the link we gave here that is already on our HTML is style, we are going to save our own CSS as style.css. All right, we're going to save it as style.css. So let's go and write our first CSS code. So I'm going to copy what I have here and I'm going to paste it on another notepad. So let me find my other notepad, and here we go. So I'm going to paste it on my new notepad. Here is it. You can see color orange. You can change the color to anything you want. Center, you can change it to whatever you want. But since you want to replicate that one, this is what we have. So I'm going to save it as style. So I'm going to click on Save As. Don't forget our folder. Everything must be in the same folder for them to talk to each other. So I have style.css. Now they are of the same folder. That folder is called Web Design. So I'm going to click on Save. I'm going to click on Save. We have saved this. Now let's go to the folder and see what we have. You can see the folder. Maybe you used to see stuff like this and you don't know what they are. They're actually CSS script, right? Cascading styling sheet. That's what they are. Now you see we have our website. Then we have our CSS. So let's see whether they actually talk to each other. So we'll go back to our website and double click. Now, beautiful. Beautiful. You see, it has synced together because the link is there, right? So I want to also affect something here. I told you, let's make this one my page, right? So let's go back to our HTML. And this is where that website is. So I'm just going to call it first. I'll call it first page. Let's call it first page, right? So what I need to do here is just to save this again. So once I've saved this again, it's done, right? So I can go back to the website and I will refresh. You can see here it's still showing my website, right? But you know we are changing. So I will refresh. Now it's not showing first page. All right. You see, building your first page is as easy as that. It is very, very easy. Now I feel like giving you at least 5 minutes to do this. 5 minutes to do this. But I know you can always pause this video, go back and do it, redo it and all that. So I think we should continue so that we'll have to discuss this on our all right, just give me a moment. I'll get back to you. I just need a moment. Okay, I guess you are still there. All right. All right. I hope that you are able to use your notepad. I am going to see if I can get you something for those of us that does not have laptop. where you can actually display this code, right? Just for 2 minutes and I'll be back. All right, guys, I think we should run. We really don't have time, so let's just see if we can run fast and do this. You can pause the video later so that you can write this code, right? And I will drop a website for you, for those of you who doesn't have a laptop, so that you can do what they call live HTML and CSS. I think that is okay. Now let's go. Now, what is CSS? CSS actually stands for Cascading Style Sheet. It is a style sheet language used for styling the presentation of a page. Now, you already know what it does. It helps you to visually style the font, the color, the margin, the line, the height, the width, the background, and even the image. So that's what it does. Now, let's look at the anatomy of a CSS. We have what we call the selector. We have what we call the property. We have what we call the value. Then property and value put together is called declaration, right? Now, one thing you must have noticed is that the spelling of your words are America, not British. You can see when we say color, we actually use America spelling. When we say center, we use America spelling. So when it comes to CSS and HTML, it doesn't really matter. But when it comes to CSS, it is the language of the English spelling of the Americans, not the British. So don't think it is a mistake and you try to change it. And when you have a property, right, what separates property from value is column. And if you are going to have another property under, you need to now separate it with a semicolon. So the two important symbols here are column and semicolon. So we have column and we have semicolon. All right. So if you are not going to have anything that follows, you might not need the semicolon. But so long you are going to have something else under that follows another property, you must end the value with the semicolon. All right. Now what you see is what you get. Blogger blog. You must have seen Blogger blog before. That's a bigger example of what you see is what you get. We have many others. Now Dreamweaver. Dreamweaver was one of those first what you see is what you get. Now this was the interface. I'm just going to run. You can watch this video again and again, please. What you see is what an editor that allow you to work on the surface. It's called a graphic user interface, so that what you are seeing is actually what you are producing, right? It's not like writing code and you later go and view it and see it. But this one, if I drop a picture, I get to see it. The way I am dropping it, that's how it's going to show on the other side, right? Now, the first web builder was like this, and you have formatting, tab, site manager, were just similar to Microsoft Word, right? Because people were used to Microsoft look like Microsoft Word. Now, this was the toolbar. If you use CorelDRAW before, you can recognize some of those toolbars, right? Then here, the biggest challenge people had with Dreamweaver was a site manager, something that organized all your pages together. Now, this web builder had it. Now, this was what I used it to build many years ago. I used to build this many years ago in Benin City, and it was nice. It wasn't bad at all. This was a web builder design. Now, let's check the most popular interface. What we call what you see is what you get interface. This is the most popular. It's called Blogger Blog. Now, we are going to do this live with Blogger Blog, right? We are going to do it live. We are going to do it live. So I'm going to the website right now to do this live. All right. So I'm going to do it live. So let's go to our web page and do this live. So I'm going to show you my entire screen so that you can get to see my full screen. Now let's go. So this was the website we designed. We're just going to let this go. Let's go to blogger.com. For those of us that are, okay, I feel I should stop, but let's just do this and we'll stop here, because let me know overload you with stuff that you now begin to think that it is hard, right? Because it is not hard. All right. So let's do Blogger Blog, then we'll shut it down from here so that you can have two homework to do. The first homework is that you write your own code. The second one is that you do what you see is what you get by running a Blogger Blog. So here is very simple, and Blogger Blog, by the way, is free so long you have your Gmail. Blogger Blog is free. So the next 3 minutes, let's just see what you can achieve with this. So I'm going to click on Create Blog, right? Now he has found my email, so I'm going to just say, okay, let's go. Let's use this. Let's use this. So I don't know why it's asking for my password. Okay, I think because I wasn't properly signing, so you want me to properly sign in. So now this is Blogger Blog. Now what you are seeing now, this notification is actually an EU policy that they post here. So I'm going to remove it. So I need a blog. So like I always advise my student, use your name for your first blog. Just take your name out of the market for your first blog. So I think my name is already there. So I'm just going to use Austin AI, right? So, and I will click on next. So Austin AI is the title of my, or you can think of something that you want to use, but I would say use your name because you can have as many blogs as possible. So I'm using Austin Moro anyway. So now it's here that I'm going to use Austin AI if it still exists. So you can see it says, sorry, this blog address is not available. So I can use Austin Austin blog. No, I don't think I want to use Austin blog. I think I should use living AI. Living AI. Okay. I will use Livingstone back. Okay, I think this is available. That's why I didn't make. So I'm going to click on next. The display name, I want it to be Austin AI. That's my display name. So I'll click on finish. So finish is processing. You can see it here is processing. Still processing. All right, so we are in. So this EU notification is back here, so I'm going to remove it again. So this is our blog right now. We can make our first post by clicking here. Now I can say welcome. You can see I can say welcome to my blog. You can use anything. So I can now write inside this place. I can say, I can even ask ChatGPT to write for me. I don't know if we have the time. I can use ChatGPT to write for me. So I can come here and click on a new chat, and I will say, acting as a pro blogger, write me the welcome post for my blog called Austin AI. So let's let ChatGPT do our first post for us. So this is going to be my heading, welcome Austin AI. So I'm going to copy this and I'm going to paste it in my blog. So instead of welcome to my blog, I will use welcome Austin AI. Then I will come here to copy this rest of this. So I can go back here and I will paste what I have, right? Now, if I want to add video, I can add video from here. If I want to add image, I can add image from here. So when you click here, you can go and upload image from your computer and you're going to bring it here. So let's see, I think our time has almost expired. Let's see, I'm going to take one image from here. I'm going to take one image from here. Let's see if I can take this one. I'll paste this one. Okay, then you can see the image down here, the image I brought. I can choose to take the image up to be the first thing. Then I can choose that I don't want my blog to appear fully. So I will go to this place. I will use this. It's called Jump Breaker. So I will insert that. Then I'll click on Publish. Now, before I publish, I want you to see something. You see all those things you've written? What you see is what you get. The East interface, the Blogger interface has helped you to write the script. So if you come here, where this pencil is, and you click on HTML, you will see it has written the script for you. What you were writing on Notepad, Blogger has written the script for you right here. All right? It's very, very beautiful, right? So we can go back and go to Compose. Then we can click on Publish. Then we'll confirm our publish. Now our blog is done. For us to view our blog, we can come here and click on View. Now this is our first blog. Now you can actually style this blog. You can style the blog. You can make the blog whatever you want it to be. So we might look at styling the blog later. All right, we can look at that later. So this is our blog. It is beautiful. So let's go straight to go and close this class. You have an assignment. You have an assignment that you are going to do for us, and that assignment is we have two assignments. The first one is you should be able, we enter content management when we meet again. We have a lot, CSS, CMS and all that. That's what we're going to do next. Now, to actually write your script, style it, change it, add things to it. That code that I gave you, this code is just an example, right? So you can expound upon this code to have something beautiful. Just keep trying your hands on different things, expound on it. You can see how we changed the code just now. You can keep changing it, but on your notepad. Then after that, you are going to give me a screenshot when we meet again. When we meet in our interactive section. Then you are going to write me a blog and you're going to drop the link of your blog so that we can get to see. So this is how we wrap up tonight's training. in our next class, we will be looking at CMS, content management system, WordPress, and you will be doing a live website. But first, you already have a website, which is your blog. So go and work on your blog. That is the first thing you already have. So go and work on your blog. I've just shown you how you can work on your blog. So go and work on it. So make sure by the time we are meeting next that you already have a blog. So thank you. I see you guys in our next class. And I am going to drop a few links for you on our training WhatsApp group. Thank you. I'll see you